Welcome to Social Media Journalism, an online class. You're going to really enjoy this class. It's a lot of fun, and we are going to teach you to be a very social journalist. I am an instructor, Robert Quigley, a senior lecturer at the University of Texas at Austin School of Journalism. I'm also the former social media editor of the Austin American-Statesman, and I'm Rob Quig pretty much everywhere, so feel free to follow me. Joining me this semester is Avery Holton, a professor at the University of Utah, and his students. We're doing an interesting collaboration this semester where Utah students are going to be doing the same kind of thing we are, and we're going to all interact with each other. Avery is a former TA in my class and an expert at social media. All right, so the big goals. We're going to create highly trained, engaged social media journalists. Yes, you. And you will build up your own personal social presence as well. We're going to help make you a more employable student, and that's a good thing, right? Isn't that what we all want? And you are going to learn from each other. You'll learn from your classmates on your own campus, but you're also going to learn from classmates at the other campus as well. You're going to learn the critical importance of ethics. This isn't changed at all with social media or with online news. It's actually more important than ever that we are very ethical journalists. You're going to have a lot of fun, I promise. And this is kind of at your own pace. By kind of, I mean most of it is done at your own pace. There are a few things where we want everybody to get together, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so here's what you're going to do. You are actually working as a social media editor. This is not a theoretical class. It's very practical and very hands-on. Think of it as you just got a job as a social media editor. We're going to guide you through it. We're going to coach you, but you are going to do it. You're going to go out and find stories all through aggregation. We're not going to do original reporting. You're going to share them in a way that we think is a best practice to do it, and you're going to interact with the community. You will work your own scheduled hours on this news network weekly. You will do self-assessments of your own work when we get to the end of each week, and you will work on various social media platforms, and you'll get a chance to try them all. You're going to evaluate the work of the others at the other campus. And so if you're at Texas, you're going to be evaluating how the University of Utah students are doing, and vice versa. You're going to take short quizzes based on these lessons that you see online. And as far as building your personal brand, which I think is very, very important, you will have to tweet news twice a day for pretty much the entire semester. Now, if you're sitting there looking at your Twitter account and saying, oh, this is going to really upset my followers, most likely they're going to enjoy getting news from you, and at the end you're going to look back and say you're happy that you did this assignment because it made you look much more employable. Now, this is an important note. This is aimed at college students. I could sit there and say these are the types of stories you should share, or even hand the links to you, I suppose. But I'm 40 years old, and Avery's a little bit younger than I am, but we're not college students, and this is aimed at college students. So you're going to go out and find news that's interesting to you or important to you and share it with people that are your peers. And you will be put into groups, and you'll have a chance to start off on a certain platform and then switch throughout the semester. You're going to stay with this group throughout the course. And you will have to do analytics. And by analytics, I mean, that's a way of measuring how you're doing. And every organization that uses social media has some way of compiling a report to show to their bosses, hey, this is working, this is not, this is what we should be doing differently. That's what this exercise is for. So throughout the semester, you're going to be measuring the impact of what we're doing on the social news network. As I said earlier, this is a job. You will be working as a social media editor. We just won't be paying you. Sorry about that. But you do get to schedule your own hours, so at least you have that. And there's potentially 16 hours of operation in a day. You're going to schedule 4 hours a week, and you can schedule up to 2 hours per day. If there's problems with scheduling, we'll work through it to solve your problems, so don't worry about it too much. In fact, if you put down a time and then you have a conflict, you could just pick a different hour that's available, or you could trade with somebody if somebody's willing to trade with you. All right, so I know y'all worry about your grades, and I'll tell you right now, there's no final exam, no Scantrons, no number 2 pencils, no giant essays to write. We'll have some shorter essays that you have to get through, but nothing that's going to involve a lot of research in the library for hours on end. Instead, you're just going to be working and reflecting on your work. And you have to stay on top of what's expected of you. This is an online class, and if you've never taken one before, I'll tell you right now, they're sometimes harder than classes that are in person, because you're going to have to be the one who makes sure that you're getting everything done. We can't come around and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, this assignment is due Monday. Instead, you have to do it. We will do a crowdsourcing project, which is a lot of fun, so that's one of the graded things we have. Crowdsourcing is all about gathering content from other people and putting it into a report, and that's what social media is actually really great for. There'll be more on that later. You got to earn points for things like the analytics report, but there's lots of other little assignments as well that won't take much time, but will really give you some experience in the various aspects of social media. And you have to attend 4 live chats. These live chats are done through live texting chats, so you'll be able to see us type almost in real time, and that's a pretty good chance for you to interact with your instructors. We'll have more than 4 scheduled, it's just 4 that you have to show up to. And we'll have them at various times and days of the week to make it hopefully fit your schedule. And there's 10 quizzes on the learning modules, including a quiz on this one right here. There are 5 questions each, so at the end you would just have to show basically that you actually watch these things and listen to them. All right, so now keeping track of your work, you need to keep notes, or at least keep in mind that you're going to be doing a self-evaluation at the end of each week. And so I suggest keeping some notes on what you're doing during your shifts. You will keep a Storify of your work on Socialnn to turn in as proof. Now, if you're sitting there looking at this and going, what's Storify? Don't worry about it. It's very, very easy, and there's a demo on Canvas. So you could go look at the demo and figure out exactly what you need to do. There's an added benefit to Storify. Basically what it does is it captures social media work that's out there and puts it in one place. And so you'll be capturing all your work and putting it in one place, which is excellent for building up your digital portfolios. I have actually heard many past students tell me that it helped them get into an interview and often to get a job because employers were so impressed by what they did when they were working for Socialnn. And you're going to submit your self-evaluations and pretty much everything else through Canvas. All right, so we're online. You don't see us unless you come by our offices. And so how do we talk? Well, there's a class Facebook group, and this is required. This is a social media class after all. A link has been or will be emailed to you. And this is the group where you could ask questions of your instructors, and hopefully you could answer each other's questions as well, so it's not all on us, and sometimes you're going to have the answers anyway. You could also share tips and interesting stories, and of course we'll do the same. There are going to be several of those live chats scheduled, so all you have to do is make sure that you make them 2 for them to get full credit for that. There will be an alternate assignment if you just can't make 4 of them, but we really want you to at least make 4. Ideally, you'll come to all of them. Of course, this is a social class, so there's a hashtag. It's Socialnn. So if you want to share questions about the class or tips or tricks, that's the place to do it. You do not use this hashtag when you're sharing news on the social news network when you're working your shifts. You just do it when you're asking questions about the class itself. All right, now Canvas is the heart of this class, and if you're not comfortable with Canvas, don't worry about it. It's actually very simple. We set this up in a way that you can just kind of work through the class and you'll see exactly what comes up next. There's a good calendar feature. There's good ways to get alerts, including on text or through email about grades or changes to the course or new assignments added or anything like that. So it's a very good platform and you'll be fine with it, promise. You'll also turn everything in through Canvas, from your peer reviews to your quizzes. Everything will be done right through there. There's also detailed instructions for turning in your assignments. And so if you're confused about what we want, it should be on there. You should be able to see it because we tried to spell everything out since we're not in front of you in a classroom. There will be many links there to things you need, including links to the platforms where you're going to be sharing information. There's also going to be all the passwords there as well. And so just go to Canvas if you're confused and look around. And your grades will show up in the gradebook relatively quickly because we have a lot of students in this class and we don't want to get behind either. Just like I don't want you getting behind, we want to stay on top of it as well. So you should have a pretty good feel for where you are at any particular time during the semester. If you have any questions about Canvas, please feel free to ask. All right, the syllabus is critically important in this class. The syllabus is pretty much spelled out through the assignments and everything in the modules on Canvas, but please look at the syllabus and look it over carefully and ask questions about it. The first live chat will specifically discuss that syllabus, so come in prepared for that. If you have any questions, please attend the live chat, join the Facebook group, start asking questions, email us. Just don't worry, we're going to work through all your concerns. Okay, and all the modules have quizzes at the end, including this one, so go take that quiz on Canvas.